97.3 Citi FM. Relevant radio, always.
Hi, my name is Nathan Quao and welcome to the preview of Matchday 26 of the Barclays English Premier League live on Citi 97.3.
Kupenda condoms. Love right.
It's a Valentine's weekend and there's a lot of love in the air. But if you're a Premier League team, you must be wondering where the love is coming from. So that's what we'll start with on Saturday. Sunderland versus Manchester United at the Stadium of Light. There will be no love shared between the two teams. Everybody wants the points. After that, there's Everton versus West Brom. But the game of Saturday is between Chelsea and Newcastle. Benjamin Nketsia joins me. Ben, it's been a wonderful week. We saw comebacks, upsets last weekend. Let's start off from Stamford Bridge. Chelsea drew 1-1 with United at home. They play another home game, this time against Newcastle. Remember that first leg? It ended 2-2. Newcastle led. Chelsea came back. It was the last time Ramirez got a goal in England, if I remember. But now they play Newcastle at home.
Well, Chelsea and Newcastle have their own story going on. You look at Chelsea's history, you realize that they've not beaten Newcastle in 11 meetings, and you look at them over the last 5 years as well, and you realize that Newcastle have taken more points off Chelsea than any other team. That's 13 points taken off Newcastle. I mean, Jose Mourinho, he had his own record going back against them, so you get a sense of what I'm talking about. But Newcastle themselves as a team, they have a lot to prove. I mean, spending the most money in the EPL during the winter transfer window, it gets to a point where you can't point an accusing finger at the owner anymore for being passive.
The cash is now flowing in.
Exactly, the cash is flowing in. Players who were supposedly underrated and underused have been brought in. I'm talking about Andros Townsend. John Joe Shelby is another one. Two players with points to prove, in my opinion, especially Andros Townsend. A lot of people say he's better than what he's been given the opportunity to show so far. This is the time to show it, and a fixture like this is a big opportunity. Chelsea themselves are not in the best of states. It's been a lot of draws for them. I mean, a lot of fans
they have to win under Hiddink in the league, actually.
Exactly. A lot of fans are taking consolation from the fact that the draws are better than losses, but really, 2 points drop, 2 points drop, 2 points drop. You get to the crucial point of the season where you begin to add up those points and say that these are the points, or these are the points where you could possibly have picked up and they would have made a difference in your game. But for Chelsea, again, I think I've seen positives from them. They are playing really good football. The movement is up there again. Eden Hazard is gradually being inculcated into the team again after his layoff. I mean, he's been off color a bit. He's lost confidence a bit. I feel that he is also one of those guys who needs to stamp his authority, especially going into the final stages of the season. For Goose, he's done as much as he possibly could. Newcastle, they are the ones with a point to prove. They are still flirting with relegation. I feel that they need to make a statement in this game.
So Saturday 13th of February, that's the last game, is at 5:30. But on Valentine's Day, will it be a massacre at the Emirates, either from a Leicester point of view or from Arsenal? It's Arsenal versus Leicester in our first game. And Benjamin, it really boils down to this. Leicester beat Man City last weekend. People say if they can pass this Arsenal test, the Premier League is almost there to be won.
True, there's a lot of truth in that statement, and I think that Leicester at a point this season, they've probably sold us everything we would want to see. I mean, if I'm Riyad Mahrez, I would sit back in my couch after this season and watch my highlights again and say that's been one hell of a season. He needs to reproduce that against a team like Arsenal, and you get to the point where you think that this is the sort of matchup that Leicester really need to test themselves. Arsenal are not a tough tackling team, but they've shown that when they come up against it, they can readjust their tactics. It's one of the learning curves for me in Arsene Wenger's career as a manager. He's been often accused of trying to play football where he wants to walk the ball into the net. I've seen him close up shop and try to grind out wins. Arsenal will require a lot more of that, especially against the league's most lethal defense. If you look at a balance of what Leicester have done in attack and in defense, they are obviously the best in the league. 47 goals scored, 22 conceded. 22 goals ranks among the top 5 in the league goals conceded. So that's a really big plus for them. Mahrez is picking up form once again. He sounds confident. I mean, he's one of those guys who went out onto his Twitter and went to say that the dream was real. After the game, he did say that then they were trying to downplay title ambition.
Now they are going for it.
They are saying that they are going for it. So that's an admission. And they were really whacked in the first leg against Arsenal. 5 goals they conceded. I mean, if you take away that particular encounter, they've not lost any game by more than a goal this season. So it gives you a sense of where we are going with this match. Arsenal, remember, have a dominance over Leicester, unbeaten in 8 home games against them. You know that Arsene Wenger and his men have an edge.
We'll see what happens. So that game starts off as Super Sunday package. It's 12 midday, Valentine's Day. It will be absolutely fantastic at the Emirates. Arsenal versus Leicester. Our second game is Aston Villa versus Liverpool. And Villa, they are in all sorts of problems. Jurgen Klopp returns to the bench after the appendicitis. But we leave that game and we go to our final game at 4:15 on Sunday, and it's a fascinating tie between the teams who are chasing Arsenal and Leicester. Then it's Man City versus Tottenham Hotspur. All of a sudden, Spurs are back in that territory they were, let's say, back in 2010. They are hunting for Champions League football. Some people have stretched their imagination to think that Spurs can actually win the league. They take on Manchester City, who will hope to recover after the nightmare against Leicester.
I really don't see why Spurs can't be the wild card to win the league, because it works perfectly for me. I mean, everything plays into their hands. Nobody is giving them a dog's chance. Everybody has their eyes fixed on Leicester. It actually takes all the attention and the pressure off them to be able to perform. Now, you look at the numbers again. I think that they rank among the best in the league. 19 goals conceded, the best defense in the league. Vertonghen and Alderweireld. We don't need to say more about them. Brothers from their days in Ajax. They form great national teammates, great chemistry they form now, and it's working to perfection. They scored 45 goals as well. For me, I feel that this Tottenham team come into a game like this devoid of pressure. They've been doing it throughout the season and people are still not looking their way. I'm very, very surprised by it, but I feel that they are one of the surprise packages. City, they will be reeling, especially after that defeat to Leicester, and also from all the ingoings around between Manuel Pellegrini, Pep Guardiola coming in next season. We saw them lose their first game at home when that appointment was confirmed. Would they be able to recover, or would they be able to have a perfect response to that? I feel their team is weakened already. Loads of injuries, loads of external factors coming in. Tottenham should have too much for them. I take Tottenham to be able to do a surprise over Manchester.
That's a bold prediction from Benjamin Nketsia. We'll see how it plays out. Man City and Spurs at the Etihad on Sunday is our final game at 4:15. Spurs have run City close in a lot of these ties in the last 5 or so years. Can they finally cut it? Can they finally get a good win as they chase for Champions League football in terms of the Barclays English Premier League? But the fun, of course, will be incomplete without your input. We need your predictions for the game between Arsenal and Leicester. Arsenal and Leicester. Predict a win, and if you get it right, you get yourselves a fantastic prize from us here at Citi 97.3. So join us over this Valentine's Day weekend. Saturday we start off at 12:45. It's Man United travelling away to Sunderland, and on Sunday we end back in Manchester, but at the Etihad between Man City and Tottenham Hotspur. It's the Barclays English Premier League and it's live on Citi 97.3. Catch you on Saturday.